I have spent a lot of time here in Da Nang, Vietnam over the past 3 years, and in this video I will share you 7 tips I wish I knew the first time I came here to make sure that the experience is even better than it already has been. And some of these things might even make you reconsider coming here, even if it's one of the cheapest and nicest beach towns in the world. But let's start with the first tip, and that's about the visas. Basically, there's e-visa for up to 90 days, but what I didn't know before, that there's even visa exemption for most countries for 30 to 45 days, so you can just come in with that for free. So that's the easiest if you come in for just for a month like I did before, and I took the e-visa for no reason. And the next tip is about the area to stay. I would definitely recommend staying here in Muan. The beach is really nice, and there's these nice areas also where you can just sit under the palm tree shadow and it's really chill. Basically, if you're anywhere close to this holiday beach hotel, you're gonna be in a really nice area. Lots of walking streets and lots of nice cafes. And the very important thing to remember is that the beach road can be quite busy and hectic, so definitely it's better to avoid all the main roads in general when you're finding your accommodation. If you can find something that is more in the back roads, in the smaller roads that are not the main traffic ways, it's way better with the sound and noise, because in Vietnam it's a bit struggle sometimes with the traffic, everybody honking, beeping. There's these like local trucks like selling ban bao, and like they quite loud. So yeah, this is what many people complain. I haven't had any problem in my place because I'm in higher floor, which always makes it more quiet, and also on a road that is like no one really uses it who don't live there, so it's way better. And yeah, you can join my school community, the Nomad Tribe, if you want to get more tips on the areas to stay in all the destinations and get all my accommodation recommendations, and also meet like-minded people in the calls and meetups and inside the community. So check it out. And the next thing is when to come in terms of surfing, the weather and air quality. But I realized kind of this year that there's not really any perfect time to come to Da Nang, because in March and April, when the weather in terms of temperature and sun would be the best, the air pollution is quite bad. Like it's actually really bad sometimes. Like even if you're not sensitive to it, it's not very nice to not be even able to really see far ahead because it's so bad. And of course it's not really healthy to breathe that air all the time. But then in the beginning of the year, when the air quality is better and the waves, I also was told a few years ago by the locals that it will be better. In my experience, it wasn't really. Like it's the same like messy waves, like it's not too good, but the water is also so cold that it would be quite painful to like surf longer in the water. So March, April is good for this kind of summer vibes. It's really nice, but the air pollution is the problem. And in January, February, it's a bit too cold, and the water is also not so clear and blue, so it's just generally not as beautiful and nice vibe. But the pollution is not so much of a problem that time of the year. The next thing I wish I knew before coming to Da Nang is that you can't really always trust the SIM card shops at the airport. Last year I bought a local SIM card at the airport, and just a few weeks after the data completely stopped working, even if it was definitely not running out yet. Super annoying when you're really relying on it for everything. That's one of the reasons why I nowadays always use eSIMs instead. No more dealing with airport scams, unreliable data and top-ups. With Olafly, the sponsor of this video, you can get unlimited data in over 200 destinations. And they also have regional plans, so if you're traveling around Asia, for example, you can just get one eSIM that works across multiple countries. So no more worrying about running out of data or surprise fees, just seamless internet wherever you go. And the best part, you can activate it under a minute just before your flight and have unlimited internet the second you land in your destination. So if you're traveling soon, check out Olafly and get an eSIM before you go. I will leave link in the description, and if you use my promo code YOSETHENOMAD, you will get 5% off and help support my channel. Trust me, it just makes life so much more easy. And the next thing is about how long to stay here. I would say that if affordability is your main priority, then Da Nang can be nice for staying here long term. But if it's not, with all the negatives that are mentioned in this video, I would say that for me personally nowadays I feel like okay, 1 month is enough in Da Nang. Is an amazing place, but after that I feel like I'm pretty ready to go to a different kind of place, especially as I talk, there's not really any perfect time to be here. So if you're staying longer, you're definitely reaching to the not so optimal times. And the next thing I wish I knew, and one of the biggest negatives here is the reason why I also feel like I don't really want to stay here long term anymore, is that people seem to like cough all the time. Anywhere I go, there's people coughing, and not even like trying to cover, just the manners and just the coughing and everybody being sick is kind of weird. Like I noticed it last year, I noticed it this year, and then I got a YouTube comment, someone saying that they loved Da Nang but they had to leave for this reason because they just couldn't take it anymore. And yeah, I'm also getting a bit annoyed. Like I got sick last year, I got sick this year, like a flu, and yeah, it just seems like still every time I go to the city or go to the supermarket, everybody coughing, and it's just like, yeah, it feels a bit uncomfortable, especially if you're getting sick all the time. It's not really optimal. And also, as the air quality is often quite bad here, it just doesn't seem the healthiest place to be for me. It's really affecting my mood sometimes, or just the vibe. And by the way, when you come in, make sure that you have a good travel insurance, just in case you get sick or to any accident, because that can definitely happen here or any place, even if it's generally very safe here. The one I have been using all these years and recommend, I have a link for it in the description, or you can scan the QR code. And the seventh thing I wish I knew was how nice Hoi An is, which is only 30 minutes drive from Da Nang. So if I would in the future, if I would have known this already last year, if you watch my last video, you can see that it's amazing and it's way more chill. And yeah, it's just a different vibe. It's so much more relaxing there. Of course, like Da Nang has many positives also and benefits compared to it. But yeah, I wish I knew that I could stay 1 month in Da Nang and 1 month in Hoi An, because yeah, Da Nang 2 months is kind of too much for me, but 1 month would have been perfect. So yeah, I really wish I knew that to check it out at least before, because I just didn't know how nice it can be to actually stay there, because before I only went there for the old town, which is very touristy, but the whole area is just so nice with the rice fields and everything. So yeah, I hope you got value out of this video. Please like the video if you did and subscribe, and hope to see you inside the Nomad Tribe.